Hello, Mr. Edris. This is Hudson from New Youth Paving and Building Contractors, a division of audio projects. All right. You know, this project, it's quite huge. The bank is very high, and it's very long. So uh, time is needed to actually sort of take into consideration all the aspects of the project before taking on it, because it's not something that once you start you start without enough design and specifications, and or taking into consideration all the structural stability of the wall. So you know so a lot of time is needed to design, taking into all the aspects of the project. So that's what I've been doing. I thought it still needs to be presented further. It still needs to be emphasized. Further. So that's what I've done. With more drawings. Okay, so I've done a lot of drawings, probably three, that I'm gonna sort of explain, and as well as you know so you see, like last time how I explained it to, again, with the drawings. But you know you need to be fully informed, because we're dealing with a big project here. It's not something that it's not like a small bank that is like maybe 2 meters high, or maybe and maybe it's about 10 meters long. This is quite, it's stretching corner to corner about over 50 meters. If you're going 5 meters high, that's pretty high. So, all right. So let me just get into the drawings. I should probably start with the footing one, that the way I was. This one. All right. The main specifications is, as I said, that the trench has to be 1,000 millimeters. That's 1 meter. That's the width. And taking the depth now, the depth has to go again down a meter, because we need to open enough room for the concrete layer, and then the double course that have to be deep in underground into the footing. And so the concrete the concrete, I'm proposing that it should be at least 350 millimeters. And the more aspect that structure engineers emphasize, specifies, is what we call this 5-degree tilt. The fact that the wall, it has to go up at a sliding angle, like it has to tilt into the bank. So basically, when opening up the trench, this is how we're gonna sort of shape the trench. That this side it should be elevated, and then this side should be very low, so that when we pour the concrete, it's gonna follow the shape of the footing. So you know so, and then one more thing is that we're gonna have to do double course, the initial course. So first block and then another block behind it, and then the string line. When you're laying the footing, the most technical aspect, when you're laying the first course, no matter you're building a house, any structure that you have to start from the ground, is the level. And so we're gonna have to lay this block, and then another one in the far end, right, starting from the deepest point, and we're gonna line up a string line like this one. And so that's how the first approach, after laying pouring the concrete. That's the stage, pouring the concrete and then laying the first blocks, right? um yeah, I wanted to sort of try to because I'm just about to leave with the trenching aspect, or the footing aspect, and then I'm gonna go to the design and probably the cross section. So yeah, as you can see that this is the shape of the trench. It's quite long. Yeah, so I'm trying to bring it closer so you can see clearly. Okay, so basically that's it. And yeah, if you can see, this is the string line, and then the far end, that's another block. I mean, that is joined the two string line that are level. And the shape of the block, it's got a hollow that you need to you can fill up with concrete or sand, to make it heavier. You're adding more weight, so if it's full, it's gonna be very heavy. That's why they actually sort of design it that if it's filled up and then it adds more weight of the wall, because basically in structural engineering the wall should be heavier than the bank. All right, so yeah, that's it in terms of the footing, and then we going now to the cross section. um, right, so basically this is the cross section. All right, when they're building the house, it was they had to cut the hill and they had to excavate, and push down the sand. This is the fill that they actually put, and the house is probably built above it, on top. So yeah, and then now what you've recently done is you've added more infill, more sand, excavated material. You know, just you are sort of trying to extend the flat platform. So it's basically this. You probably have gone about maybe 5 meters or so from the original bank. So I would say, let me just say probably 5 meters, right? That you've actually brought. I mean, all the material that have actually been delivered so far, you've extended this platform by at least probably 5 or 4 meters or something. Okay, and now what we're gonna do now is when we're building the wall now, we are gonna be sort of starting down here where they actually the soil the these ends. I would say where that big tree where the day we were actually sort of taking the height of when we were measuring the height of the bank. That's when we're gonna actually start the footing, and you put a string line anyway. So yeah, that's where we're gonna be starting. So we are gonna be staking the blocks, going up, going up, going up. So you can see that this wall, it actually naturally goes up at 70 degree, because it's got a lip. The block has a lip. So when you place another one on top of it, place another one on top of it. Yeah, basically sort of let me just sort of take it back a little bit, so you can easily when I was actually sort of doing the drawings, just to give you a more insight, because this is also another big technical aspect of the project, right? So yeah, maybe it's fine. I wouldn't want to go all the way when I was actually beginning drawing. So like what we're gonna be doing is we lay, and then we stack one course another. You see how it goes up. It at a certain angle because it's got a lip, you know. Right, and then yeah. So okay, so these are the dimensions, and then I was labeling the layers. Okay, and then let me just get all the way now, because what I wanted you to see is how the wall goes up at a certain angle naturally as you stack the blocks up on top of each other. Okay, so I think that's it. Okay, so now another important thing is when we're doing compaction, we're gonna have to cut some benches. Right, we cut off some benches, and just to get enough space to get this compacted, because it shouldn't be leaning on top of loose gravel. We need to excavate this, and then we fill up, we compact as we build up the wall. So now this is probably the required. Let me just I label it, this layer here. This is probably what we're gonna need, more backfill. Okay, because now I think probably if you build up the wall, you're gonna get another 6 more meters from the platform. Right, probably even, I mean, let me say 4, 5, or 6, up to 6 maximum. Right, so so now when we go up, this is gonna be the gravel between this block, this wall, and the backfill. Right, so this is gonna be actually gravel. So now we're gonna make it a meter as thickness, right? And then the rest is gonna be 5 meters of this more sand that you're gonna have to bring. Okay, and then here is the drainage. Okay, so we are gonna put a thick layer for drainage. Okay, so there's gonna be a pipe. So around the pipe, then we're gonna actually sort of fill up with 90 millimeter aggregate. The stones are from a quarry mine. So we should make it as thick enough, probably about 300 around the pipe, to ensure that there is adequate infiltration, adequate drainage, that all the water that is actually going to be coming from all the way down, so it's going to have to be actually sort of sink or infiltrate fastly, because it's actually finding a way, it's getting to a layer that has gaps for to infiltrate. So and then it's gonna then get captured into the pipe, and